Alright, so this is the first video I'm filming on a new camera, so hopefully it turns out well and you can hear me good enough. This is my Leco Induction Furnace. I believe it's like 740. I've got the model number back here. I don't know if you guys can read that, but it's a model 763-100. This is a tube-powered induction furnace. Picked it up off of Facebook, pretty cheap, like about $100. It did have a tube in it, and yeah, I accidentally kind of blew that tube clean out of her when I was doing some testing and whatnot. This is that. The Zymac 304TL tube. It's got 4 triodes in there, and as you can see, the plate is a little dickered. That was completely operator error, given that you should not turn on the filament voltage after the plate voltage. I made that mistake, but granted, I was turning the whole unit on its side in order to make it turn the plate voltage on. Yeah, so you really shouldn't turn on the plate voltage before the filament voltage, because that's how you blow tubes up. This was totally operator error, as I was turning on the plate voltage by turning the whole machine on its side. I have since corrected the problem, and I'll go into that in more detail later. However, I've got a new tube sitting there in the box. It's actually one my dad got from the trash, because where he was working, they actually had a machine very much like this, basically, well, literally the same tube. And apparently the machine went out the door, and that tube was old stock that they were getting rid of. So luckily I had a spare. We'll plug it in, and I'm going to warm it up using a variac. Hopefully I will be able to do that and get the filament voltage brought up slowly to avoid shocking the tube and cooking her out. Alright, open up this nice box. Big old box for one power tube just kind of sitting in there. There she is. And we'll put her back in the box for the minute and open up the heater. Alright, got the tube out. I've got the case uncovered. This is the oscillator plate. Tube just gets put right in there. Grid voltage, plate voltage, doesn't get more simple than that. So, just going to stab her in there and hope for the best. Now this machine does have an interlock that prevents you from getting plate voltage while the cover is off, and however, it does not prevent you from turning on the plate voltage. This is an air-cooled tube, so having forced air on it is important when you're running plate voltage and the tube is under load. However, it's not absolutely necessary for a short warm-up run just with the filament voltage, just to light up the tube. There we go. Ooh, that screw's trying to strip out. Be careful with that in the future. Alright, I've got a variac hooked up to the machine. I'll plug her in real quick. I only have about a minute of video left, so I'm going to do this now as quickly as I dare. But what I'm going to do is limit the power to the machine and to warm up the plate voltage slowly. So, variac is on. I've currently got it set to about 50% power, and here goes nothing. Fingers crossed no white smoke comes out. Plate voltage, or filament voltage, on. Nice gentle glow. All of them are even. Go bring it up real slowly. All of them seem to be glowing in unison, which is really nice. I'm just about out of memory, so I'll bring you back after I've warmed it up. Well, I guess now there's really nothing to it but to do it. So, here we go. I might have to kick the fan around. It does squeal a little bit. Let's just give her some plate. There she goes, lighting up. There we go. Got the cooling fan on. Let's see if I can't get you where maybe you can see. Alright, I'm going to turn on the plate voltage. Now I do the sample switch because I haven't disabled that yet. And let's see if the plates light up. I think this tube might be dead. Alright, so what I have read is that the blue glow may not actually be a problem. It might just be because it's a brand new tube. However, I took the the blower off here and you can see the tube directly. That way you can get a better view of what the glow is actually doing. I'm going to fire it up again. Not for very long, that way I don't overheat the tube. But just long enough to test it. The power will probably trip anyways. So, here goes. Alright. Let the camera get adjusted. Turn on the grid supply. Get my magic triggering device. And contact. Yeah, I guess that's fluorescence. And not actually a bad thing. Breaker hasn't tripped. Grid voltage off. Filament off. We might have a good tube here. Cool. Let's get the fan on and try it again. Alright, I've got her running. I took out the extension cord I was running it off of. Let's see if I don't have enough clearance. Let's see if I can't make a bar of steel get warmer. I don't have anything smaller. I do have coatings actually. I am wearing gloves because I did get shocked once from this machine. But I think it was just a transient voltage across from the coil. Let's see what happens here. Plate voltage on. Oh yeah. It's hot real quick. Yeah, gotta be careful with that. I don't know if this machine will actually work for me Giving that Arky Sparky. Ow, that stung a little bit. Alright, after getting zapped, I decided I'm going to play around with it, but without a direct connection between the machine and me. So I've got the crucible and set up like it was originally, and I'm just putting in some nails I found and turning it on. Oh, they're nice bright orange already. That's forging temperatures there. I wonder if the cool air blowing by because of the air cooling is actually causing the problems with it not getting up to temperature, because that's glowing a nice healthy forging temperature inside that cup there. I'm going to add some more load. Yeah, I think this machine will do just what I was looking for, if I can get it to not bite me. Apparently the grid meter is not working. It's interesting, as I add more load, I believe the coupling is getting better. Plates are just glowing a faintest orange in the back there. It's getting real toasty in there. If I get enough load in there, I might be able to actually melt steel. That's all I brought out here. Yeah, it's getting pretty screaming hot in there. So I might need a refractory sheet in there and something insulative. Oh, I see sparks. Cool. It's interesting, the grid meter is not registering anything. The plate meter is running though. Currently passing 250 to 500, 260, 70, 80, 90. Yeah. I'm currently passing about 260 milliamps across the plate. I'm assuming this is running at about 3 kilovolts. But I don't know that for a fact because I do not have an instruction manual for this machine. Alright, I don't want to melt everything into the crucible permanently. Alright, it's down to a black heat in there. There might be some cherry red all the way in the back, but I just wanted to see what happens when I light her off. Oop, tripped the overload. Too much load there. So when it's hot, the load drops down. Huh. Interesting. This isn't a wiring fault because, oop. Ta-da! Only draws a handful of current. It's currently oscillating at 0, 3, 4. Well, these divisions aren't very helpful. It goes from 0 to 250 to 500 to 750. Yeah, I don't know what each division is supposed to be, but it's oscillating below 250 milliamps, open circuit. Now, I don't want to touch nothing anywhere near there right now until I get some insulation around those coils. Cool, this thing works.